This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the Bee Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at beepodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to this show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply.
Welcome to Morning Motivation for Educators. I'm Danielle Nuhfer, a former teacher who knows firsthand how exhausting and overwhelming this work can be. After 20 years in the classroom and 2 bouts of burnout, I found tools to help teachers not just survive, but thrive. I created Teaching Well to help educators like you manage stress, find balance, and reconnect with the passion that brought you to teaching. This podcast is your space to breathe, reflect, and take small steps toward feeling more grounded and fulfilled. Your well-being is crucial to your school success, and I'm here to support you. So with that, let's begin. I arrived at the starting line at 7:45 a.m. and didn't need to stop running until 7:45 p.m. The challenge? Participants had exactly 12 hours to do as many or as few 5-mile loops as they'd like. You could take as much time between loops or never stop at all. The race support, fun, and festivities would be available for 12 hours, full stop. Aptly titled the Labor Pains Run, the event was, you guessed it, held on Labor Day weekend. The tagline was cleverly titled, The Hardest Race You Ever Conceived of. For nothing more than the fact that I love puns, this clearly was the race for me. This and the fact that the start line sits at precisely 15 minutes from my house and the terrain is familiar. All important things to consider when you sign up for something that no one else willing to be as adventurous, maybe, reckless, perhaps, fun, certainly not, at least not for most people. So needless to say, I arrived on my own with my family cheering me on via the wonders of technology, and who would definitely be there to greet me on my last lap, if I got the timing right, approximately 12 hours after I arrived there myself. I won't take you through all 12 hours of this endeavor, but I will say that I accomplished something that I never did before. And it was an incredible feeling and feat. And after I did it, people were a little surprised because I didn't really tell anyone except a few what I was actually up to. So in full honesty, I wasn't concerned about how many miles I accrued during this 12 hours. I actually was more interested in seeing if I could stay on my feet for those 12 hours. And spoiler alert, I did. For someone who doesn't run fast but can totally run far, this is my kind of race. I was being rewarded for being one of the last ones standing, not the first ones finished. And honestly, I thought as a teacher and as a mom, I'm on my feet for 12 hours a day, a lot of days. This race may actually be a little easier because I'm not only worried about me and moving forward, not all of the other responsibilities that I do throughout a normal 12-hour span. But as I reflected, I realized that this challenge is completely transferable to any challenge we put ourselves up against or set out to do for ourselves. And what I learned can absolutely connect to the teaching life as well. So even if moving around a 5-mile loop is not your thing, hopefully you'll glean some key takeaways that can impact your classroom with or without being on your feet for 12 hours. Number 1. I learned about the power of a simple mantra. My mantra in all of my races is the same. It has been the same since I started training 15 years ago. Focus, breathe, and smile. These 3 little words mean so much to me, and they echo in my head whenever I'm starting out a journey. Whether it's the start of a new school year, a race, a season of life, my mantra is powerful. You can use mine or claim your own. This one works for me because it puts me in the right place to do the challenge. Step 1, I focus. I focus on what I'm here to do and get really present with what's in front of me. Step 2, I breathe. I breathe and settle in and reset and relax just a little bit. And step 3, I smile. This means to me having a little fun, taking things a little lighter. saying hello to others, chatting, smiling, nodding, waving, and absolutely remembering gratitude. This mantra over time took away the nerves a little and definitely got me out of the mindset of only needing to win. So feel free to use my mantra or create your own. When you repeat these words, they start to have meaning to you, and they will get you into the right frame of mind to do anything. The second thing I learned was I can do hard things. This is so important. So many of us sell ourselves too short, and we are capable of so much more than we will ever allow ourselves to prove. I'm no superstar at all. I just enjoy a challenge. For teaching, find your teacher support. If you don't have one of your own, join our Teaching Well with Mindfulness group. We meet monthly, and we support each other doing those hard things. Number 3, forward progress is progress. I trained to run at least 7 loops, about 35 miles. I fell a few times early on, and that changed the trajectory of what I wanted to do. I knew I could do more, but I thought maybe I would get injured. It was a hit to my ego because I knew I could run, but that I wanted to run after this race and not have a fall that would take me out entirely. So I swallowed my pride and I hiked. I hiked pretty quickly and I completed 45 miles over 11 hours. I could have dropped out, but I could have also run faster. But I took the middle way. I wanted to just move forward with each step. So the same thing as in teaching. When we are making progress on relationships, transitions, procedures, a new concept, making incremental progress is the most important thing. Sometimes the progress will be invisible, but just adjust your pace and continue doing something toward the goal, no matter how small. Perhaps it's even stopping for a bit, regrouping, and then moving forward. So those are just a few learnings I had throughout this entire experience. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I wish you continued ability in setting and meeting challenges you set for yourself that go beyond teaching, because when you do that, you then take what you learn and bring it alive in your classroom. Choose something and just go for it. Thanks for joining me today. If you're ready to dive deeper into your well-being, check out my book, The Path of the Mindful Teacher, or join the monthly Teaching Well with Mindfulness sessions to connect and recharge. Find the links for these and other ways we can work together in the show notes and at teachingwell.life. Remember, caring for yourself is the best way to care for your students.
Thanks for listening. And whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at bpodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.